Good evening and welcome to today's daily market summary. If you are just joining, I do this every day. The video goes up by 6 p.m., but I tend to record an hour, sometimes an hour, 30 minutes beforehand. So, our Greenticker Daily, as I call it, is a summary of activities on the NGX for today. Today is Thursday, September 4, 2025. Now, tomorrow is a public holiday in Nigeria, right? For now, I'm mostly focused, at least when it comes to stocks, on the Nigerian market. But I'm going to be doing content on other things. I'm going to have content on commodities, going to have content on crypto, more content on crypto, and the likes. But right now, I'm doing a lot of content on stocks. So it's a public holiday tomorrow in Nigeria. The stock market is closed during public holidays. That means that you won't have the usual schedule. So usually I'd have pre-market video by 9:30 a.m., midday video by 12:30, and then you would have this daily market summary by 6 p.m. So that regular schedule won't happen because the markets are closed. So vote for a stock you would like to see in the comment section. The video with the highest votes will go up on Saturday. The only condition is it has to be a stock I have not covered before, either individually or collectively. So votes, I'll be watching the votes. You have all of Friday, all of the rest of today to vote. And the highest votes, I would do a video on Saturday. Before we dive in, a big thank you to everyone who's taking the time to like, share, subscribe. Please continue to do so. It means a great deal. Every time you do so, every comment, every like, every time you share, every time you subscribe, it increases how do I put it? It raises the position, right? YouTube projects this content to a larger audience the more you do so. But please note, as always, this is not financial or trading or personal advice in any shape or form. Anything I say is just my opinions. It's not advice. Do not act on it. In fact, a lot of times you shouldn't probably even be thinking of acting, because the fact that I say something doesn't mean I'm acting on it, or I own the stock, or I'm buying it, or I'm going to buy it. No. What I do is to talk about what's in the news, what's happening, what I see, what I observe. So please note that. We had a good day today. Why do I say so? The all share index gained 0.60%. The index measures the average performance of stocks on the exchange. So some stocks will do better than the index, some stocks will do worse than the index. So what are the gainers and losers today? LRLX gained 10%, close at essentially 13 naira, because 12.98 is 12 naira 98 kobo. That's 13. So it's up 10%. In fact, I noticed that the stock was on full bid. I last looked at the market at about 2 o'clock, and the stock was on full bid. So that puts it on my watch list for Monday. Yeah. Veritas Capital gains 10%, close at 1 naira 98 kobo. It seems that this stock is range trading. I probably will check, and if that's the case, I'd include it in my watch list for next week. Honeywell Flour up essentially 10%, because 9.95%. You round it, it's 10%. Honeywell Flour gains 10%, close at 23 naira and 20 kobo. Mansard also 9.94% to close at 15 naira and 82 kobo, while Royal Exchange, also in the insurance space, even though Royal Exchange, you can call it a holding company, Royal Exchange also gained 9.94% to close at 1 naira and 88 kobo. Moving to the loser side, Austin Lars seemed to have shared some of his gains, down 9.75% to close at 2 naira 87 kobo. Nimet down 8.33% to close at 6 naira and 5 kobo. Dark Communications is the parent company of the popular AIT television and Raper radio. Dark Communications fell 4.44% to close at 86 kobo. Champion Breweries down 4.15% to close at 15 naira. Unilever down 4.11% to close at 70 naira. Now, in terms of most actively traded stocks by volume, Sovereign Trust, in fact, Sovereign Trust Insurance dominated most actively traded stocks by volume and value. But let's take it bit by bit. So, in terms of volume, Sovereign Trust traded a huge volume. I mean, 1.4 billion shares. This company has a bit over 10 billion shares. So, 1.4 billion shares traded. That's major. I don't know if it's a cross deal, but I suspect this is in fact, it very likely is an institutional play because you typically don't have these huge volumes. Retail tend to trade smaller volumes. So this has to be some institutional play, either a buying or a selling. 1.4 billion Sovereign Trust Insurance shares traded. Uh, Distant second is Nigerian Breweries, 41.2 million shares traded. Fidelity Bank, 30.5 million shares traded. Zenith Bank, 26.3 million shares. And Universal Insurance, number 5 on the post with 24.1 million shares traded. Now let's look at value. I mean, Sovereign ran with the first position in terms of value, 4.2 billion worth of shares traded. Nigerian Breweries a distant second, 2.8 billion worth of shares traded. Zenith Bank, 1.7 billion shares traded. MTN Nigeria has an automatic spot on my watch list. Saw a couple of sub 400 trades. MTN Nigeria with 864 million worth of shares traded. And then Fidelity Bank rounds up things with 642 million worth of shares traded. So that's pretty much about it. An audio version of this post will go up soon. It's going to go up on the Greenticker podcast. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music. You can also find content on greentickertales.com. In some ways, I'm excited for the holidays. I finally get a chance to write again. I would always say that writing is my main chick, and every other thing is my side chick. But unfortunately, sometimes in Nigeria, well, the side chick tends to have more dominance than the main chick. So it's a weekend. It's back to my main thing, which is writing. I'm largely probably more known for writing than social media content, or let's say audiovisual content. Thank you all for watching and see you guys tomorrow.